Here we are in Rush Rally 3. This is a replay of a race I've just done in spin mode. We're on the Finland track, time trial, stage 4. This video will be broken up into roughly 3 parts. Well, exactly 3 parts. We'll be watching this in the background while I comment over it. And then I'll be doing a race after this where you'll get to see the flag on the roof, which is the flag of Greece as a roof wrap, and my video series of Rush Rally 3 roof wraps this is number 10. This is going to be the easiest one in my series. I'm not going to continue with this series. I'll be doing some more cars. Actually, this same car, the Micro Compact SS, with some other roof wraps on them that aren't really overly difficult to do, where I have done a car theme based on the flag. Okay, so after we do this part where I comment over it, we'll be doing the same track here where you'll get to see the flag just a little bit better from chase view, and I will not be commenting over that portion of the video. And after that, the third part, we'll take a look at the decal pack, and I'll try to explain what makes doing the Greek flag somewhat difficult, or a flag with many stripes that go across the roof, because this technique can also be used in many other flags where they have repeatable stripes, or even a repeatable element, like the Qatari flag, which has a series of triangles that run across the roof from one side to the other. It looks like we've finished that race. Let's go have a look at this race from chase view without me talking over it. And there's the track configuration there on the right. Looks a little bit squiggly. You can actually see the whole thing, and you can see the distance for it, 3.99 kilometers.
3, 2, 1, go. 5 left, into 4 right. 4 left, 60. 4 left, 40. Into 5 right. 3 left. 5 right. 6 right, don't cut, 40, over jump, 60, 5 left, from 30. Over crest, 100, 5 right, 40, into 5 left. Over crest, 80. 2 right, and 2 left. 6 right, 60. Over jump, 130. 5 left, 40. Over jump, 60. Hairpin right. 5 right, 60. Over jump, 60. 2 right, 40. Into 4 left, don't cut. 5 left, 40. Over crest, 80. 5 left, 60. Into 4 left. 5 left, into 5 right. 6 right, 60. 5 right, 40. Over jump, 80. 5 right, 60. Into 6 right, don't cut. Over finish.
And there we have it. Now let's go look at the decal pack. So we go into upgrades, customize, vinyls. And here we are. There's the Greek flag, as you would be seen by the driver as he steps into the car from in the upright position. This is the third time I've put this flag on the roof. I used a different method the first time I did this. I found the method I'm currently using here just a little bit easier. I usually put the flags down the bottom of the decal pack. There are a couple other decals down there below the flag. The yellow one is a custom color decal, so that goes below pretty much everything. The flag has to go above that. This decal I'll take away, hit the layer button, it will turn green. That black one is turned into a line so I could find the center of the car. Now if I double that, extend that line out, remove the magnet, and rotate, I forgot to use symmetry there. And how about I make the line a little wider so you can actually see it there a little better. This is the best method I found to find the center of the roof where you want to put the flag. I'll freeze that into place. Oh, it's not going to work. We're going to have to look at it from that angle. And then I rotate it so that the diagonal line up with the A pillar and close to the C pillar. I found if it's just slightly ahead of the C pillar, and then you position the center, any other decal you put over top of this and put into the proper orientation will be centered where those two lines cross. That's where you would, I'll do that now. We're going to go get a flag. See if I can find the Greek flag here, since I didn't leave one in the decal pack. It doesn't show up too well like that because it's all scrunched up. You've got to hit the standard orientation and standard size of the decal. I've got to turn it to the proper color of the decal, and I'll turn off symmetry. That's about as large of a decal you can use when you use the flag packs. So to make one that actually fits the roof, now I have to turn the magnet back on when I rotate this into the proper orientation. And then I have to extend it. This would be a working decal. I'd freeze that in place and none of the other stuff would be over top of it. You'll notice there's a little bit of white just on the edges there. I tend to like the flag just a little bit narrow to the roof because I find the curvature of the roof tends to make the last element on the edge of the flag a little bit smaller. Now we'll leave I'll remove my cross one I put in there. We'll leave the Greek flag in there now. And I'll show you here the blue stripe. That is also made from where we located the center of the roof. We just put a stripe on there. I'm going to have to put a different stripe on there. Say I made one in, say, dark red or something like this, and I just guessed at a size like that. So is what I do. I take that stripe, I make it a different color than the color I just made. I use symmetry, and I'd also make this shorter. It looks much wider than the other one because there were two of them together there. And but this one right up against the one I had there. I'll take that one, and I'll make another one of those, and I'll do it in red. It's different red than the center. Doesn't have to be. Just as long as you have two different contrasting colors to make a series. All we're doing now, we're using these essentially as rulers. We're trying to make enough stripes, and then I'll double that again. Oh, we'll go with another green, and how about a blue? And as you can see, it doesn't line up. It doesn't come anywhere near to the proper size we need to fit the roof, and there aren't enough stripes there. So what we do, remove all the extra ones there. We go back to the one we had. We double that. Now, since we're going to a narrower stripe, I'll use a yellow this time. I take the decal over top. If I were going to a wider stripe, I'd adjust the decal underneath where I doubled the one down the center of the car. Then I'd go through the same thing with that yellow stripe until I got exactly the number of stripes running from side to side on the car. With the Malaysian flag, which has 14 or an even number of stripes, this is a little more difficult too. You can't put the stripe right in the center. You have to abut it up to the black line that I showed you as your working decal, and you have to create 14 stripes. You could use the same technique, but you can't use symmetry. Becomes a little bit more difficult to do. You can do symmetry to get the right size for your first stripe, but you can't use symmetry to place them because you can't change the one from one side of the car to the other a different color. Now back to our Greek flag. I decided this is the easiest way. I did two different ways. Let's take a look at the whole flag. Let's freeze the whole flag that way. I did the center stripe up to the cross, the blue and white cross portion. I found this method works a little bit better, and you do the blue and here I'll turn the blue on the cross there, a different contrasting color. You might be able to see there's a little bit of blue on the edge of it towards the center of the car. That's because the center stripe here, which I'll now turn black, you can definitely see that there's some black to the edge of the pink square there. That will allow us to do fit our stripe in there perfectly by using the stripe from the full length of the car on the Greek flag. Now I have to turn that back to the color I was using, which could be practically any color of blue, because as the CIA indicates on their public website, the blue is non-standard. It's called something called azure, but that can vary anything from a very dark blue to a very light blue, lighter than I'm displaying here. Now how about we do this, and you can see how I made the cross. I took stripes, I copied one of my blue stripes, turned it into a white, and made a cross that go over. Here's the stripe, one stripe, here's the other stripe. And that's convenient because the blue stripe is exactly this, the white stripe is exactly the same as the blue stripe, and they have to be butted up against one another right at the transition there of the cross in the corner. Now we'll go back to our stripes. I would have started with this stripe. I would have butted a stripe up against it. Then I would have fit this stripe on there. Then I would have butted a exact same size stripe up against that. But the ones I had butted, I had removed. That stripe looks kind of funny, doesn't it? You know why? Because when I showed you when I put the Greek flag on there was a little bit of white at the edge. So I decided to use a stripe there. So that's not actually the stripe. That's the stripe that would be used to make the Greek flag as an even number of stripes. Now you notice my edge stripe is a little bit wider depending some angles when you look at it, but most angles it is not. There is just a small amount of white at the edge there I had to cover up. And you notice the blue I chose is a lighter blue than the darker decal color. So that pretty much explains how to do the Greek flag, or how to do a flag with multiple stripes running across the roof. Doesn't tell you how to do the Qatari flag, and there's another flag that uses triangles running as a transition between two different color fields between the front or the staff end of the flag and the wind end of it. The Qatari has 9, the other one has 5, and I believe it's in our decal pack in the game. With that, I found you have to make a line to abut either your triangles up against, or the back end base of the triangles, or the point, or good idea is to use both. And it's more difficult to do triangles because at the edge you don't have that little bit of play. You've got to get the triangles exactly perfectly to fit the edge. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. This is the end of this series. I'll be continuing doing some more videos in this game where I'm doing roof wraps, and I'll be doing a full theme of the car based on the flag. The decals look the cars look a little more playful rather than just having a roof wrap on them. So I hope you found that enjoyable or somewhat helpful. I'm gonna call that a video.